Hey, what's up? What's up? Don't wait. I know. Don't go nowhere. I know you're busy. I know your schedule is packed. You don't even know how you're going to get it all done because that is the story of your life on a daily basis. I know your struggle. Well, hey, I'm Stephanie and welcome to the Mind Your Business Mentor podcast. I am your mentor and your host, and I created this podcast for somebody just like you. You started a business by yourself. You did it for yourself because you were in pursuit of a dream. You had a dream, but you're struggling from day to day to figure out how to live a life somewhere in between. I know what that's like. That struggle is usually centered around three things: clarity, time, and money. And today we are going to talk about how to master our time by mastering our priorities in both life and business. Okay, question. Are you tired of feeling overwhelmed? Unproductive? You have to learn how to master the art of time management and unlock your true potential with simple, effective techniques that will revolutionize your everyday, your daily routine, right? So how did we get here? How did I put this all together? My experience. I've been an entrepreneur, self-employed for a few years now. And I've seen the struggles. I've bumped my head. I've spun my wheels. I have struggled with managing or dealing with the feast and famine of my income, dealing with having more things on my plate than I have time in the day, busy work, working on stuff, perfectionism, procrastination, you name it, right? I was able to piece together some things through all the books that I've read. The 4 Hour Work Week, the E-Myth Revisited, Think and Grow Rich, The Black Choice, Profit First, you name it, the 12-week year, the one thing. All these different books, conferences, conventions, and trainings that I have done over the years all come to this conversation that we're having here today, but we're specifically talking about time. People say you can't manage time, and that's true, but we'll get to that in just a moment. What you're managing is yourself, which is the definition of minding your business. Manage thyself, right? Mind your business. But that's what I was doing. When this all came about and the dots truly started connecting is when I did my life book. I did a life book. If you're not familiar with a life book, it's by John and Missy Bolcher. And I did my life book in 2023. And you talk about an eye opener. It took me from this thought of the possibilities of balance, that life work balance. It took me from that balance mentality to an alignment mentality. I'm not saying that I disagree or agree with balance and that it's possible or not possible. I just know that alignment is even more structured or stronger than it's a case by case basis. And that's what we do here at the MYB Lifestyle, which stands for Mind Your Business. That's what we do. It's a case by everything is custom made. Everything is custom to that individual person because what you want and what I want and what the next person wants is totally different. Totally different. Where you're at in your stage of entrepreneurship, where I'm at in my stage, and so on and so forth, it's totally different. uh, what resources that you have, what's your family makeup? Are you doing this really all by yourself? No family, no friends? Do you belong to a mastermind? Do you belong to an accountability group? Do you have a coach or a mentor? Are you figuring this out through YouTube University? All these different components and all these different variables make it where it has to be customized. It has to be customized for you. Because I'm not talking about which business to get into, although that's an option. If you're on my website, you already understand that and know that. I'm not telling you how to run your business and the best business strategies, although I will speak on those things because they will help you with your clarity. They will help you with your time, and they will definitely help you with your money. I don't really speak on those things I do as an underlying conversation. The main conversation is helping you gain that clarity. The main conversation is help you design the time and how to manage your money so that vision that I push you to develop, that I push you to perfect, not perfect, but when I say perfect, I mean for you, not for anybody and everybody, just you. That vision will come to pass. It's like steps of manifestation. It's like the perfect recipe or the perfect storm to manifest the things that you want. So what am I talking about? All right. The MYB assessment, which is called the My Beginning assessment. Go through the assessment. You look at your life in 6 key areas, which is personal growth, which encompasses 6 different points, which would be mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, physical health, emotional, physical health. There's 6 of them. Your vision, right? Your character, right? All of those are under personal growth. So that's one. Personal growth, business, financial, quality of life, and contribution. And you go through these 6 areas of your life and you basically answer a series of questions that are rated from 1 to 10. And any area of your life that's under 5, it needs your attention, right? And you're going to pay attention to all 6, but the ones that are under 5, they need more of your attention. Or any lower numbers. Say that you don't have any of them that are under 5. Let's say the lowest number is a 7 or the lowest number is a 6. It definitely needs your attention. That becomes your goal. What is the goal that you want to set to bring that score up for you? That goal turns into a priority. So now that that goal is a priority, those priorities are scheduled every day, every week, or every month, depending on what type of goal that it is. So that when you get up, from the time you get up in the morning and the time you go to bed at night, you are in alignment with a better life. You are in alignment with a better tomorrow because of what you chose to do today, because of what you decided to do today, which is the first D in the 5D philosophy, right? So you decide what those priorities are. And then you discover the resources you already have. You discover what it's going to take to get you from where you are now to reaching that goal. And you discover what habits would help me do that on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. Those habits, those priorities, they all get put into a schedule, right? So that you are progressively moving forward. And that's what I did. That's what I did for myself. And the power, I thought that was powerful by itself. But here's the kicker. It's not just about scheduling your time and managing your time. It's about managing yourself during the time that you have available. It's about being focused, working without distraction for a period of time, whether that be 25 minutes, whether it be 30 minutes, whether it be 45 to an hour, or even a 2-hour block. But whatever time you choose and whatever priority you choose to work on during that time, you don't work on anything else. You don't click on multiple tabs on your computer. You don't check your email while you're working unless it's related to the task that you're doing. You don't jump to your phone because you heard a notification. You don't run into the kitchen and make yourself a cup of coffee that took you 10 minutes because you're putting every flavor under the sun inside of it. And now it's no longer coffee, but that's a conversation for another day. But you are working focused. And what you'll discover is the things that you think about in the back of your mind, oh, that's going to take a minute. Even if you give it a definitive time, oh, that'll take over an hour, or that'll take at least 3 hours. When you work undistracted and you work focused during this time block that you have set for yourself, it actually takes less time than you thought. That's what I discovered for myself. That's how I was able to accomplish some of the things that I have been able to accomplish. And one of those things is this podcast. Because of the way I manage my time, I was able to put out this podcast initially for season 1. And I did it to the best of my ability at that time. But I'm so proud that I did it. I got it done. It wasn't about perfection. It was about progress. It wasn't about perfection. It was about having it put out there. It was completed. You know what I mean? And completion is what fuels your confidence. When you can sit down and set forth with a goal to complete and you do it, your confidence is built. And that confidence exudes in your posture. It exudes in your language and how you carry yourself and how you explain things. And your clarity makes it easy for people to understand whether or not, yes, they want to rock with you, or no, I don't think that that's something that I'm looking for, but you're doing a great job. You know, that clarity is magical. So the clarity, the time management, and the money management, because all that stuff is going to cost you something. Right? You're trying to get better health. You know, your supplements are going to cost you. Your gym membership's going to cost you, whether it be time or money. It's going to cost. And you have to align yourself so that everything is being fed for your benefit, in alignment with what you say that you want out of your life, in alignment with what you say and who you say you want to be. Because the ultimate goal is just to be, where your being is enough. I'm telling you now that you're enough. You just got you got too much stuff going on and it's just all twisted up. I help you straighten it out, line it up. And with your faith and your hope, you're going to be able to accomplish those things that you set out to accomplish. Not just talk about them, be about them. Not just talk about them, be it. Because the thing about it is, no matter what it is that you are working to pursue, it takes a certain type of person to get to certain levels. And your goal is to become that person, because the goal could change. The project could change. The ambitions can change. It's like, oh, I thought I wanted all this stuff, but I don't really want all this stuff. I just want peace. I want to be able to take care of my loved ones without the struggle. I want to be able to be present when they need me without worrying about where else I should be or what else I should be doing, because I need to earn money and I need to do this and I need to do that. Get in alignment with yourself. Get in alignment with your time, and get in alignment with your money, right? So let's get into some teaching points as to how you could do what I just described that I did for myself. All right, let's get into it. Let's shift the narrative. It's not that you don't have enough time, it's that you're lacking clarity. Most solopreneurs aren't actually short on time, they're spread too thin. You don't need more hours, you need better focus and structure. So let's understand the power of focus blocks. Traditional time blocking doesn't account for your energy, focus, or the season of life that you may be in. It allows for prioritizing the right work at the right time. Your time blocks that you want to set up should be based on priority. And you want to prioritize that one thing that if you do it, it would definitely change a lot of things. Like they call it the big domino. Like, for instance, say you earned more money, you landed a contract or got a client or whatever that paid you more money. That would be a big domino in your financial life, but it would also be a big domino in other areas, because now those finances enable you to take care of other things that make you frantic and spread you too thin, because you got to compensate for what you don't have, right? So you have to identify. So when you go through your life and you figure out those priorities, you're looking for the big domino, that one thing that if you do would make everything else easier or even unnecessary, right? So that would be your block. And I number them, would be block one. Block ones are done every single day. I want to say Saturdays and Sundays because that's what solopreneurs do. We work 7 days a week, and that's fine. But you don't want to work all day, 7 days a week, right? We have to touch it on a daily basis to get that momentum. We have to touch it on a daily basis to get the plane off the ground. You know, y'all heard me say in the episode about procrastination, I use the airplane analogy, right? And how if you keep changing your mind and changing the plan and all that, how your plane will never, number one, get momentum on the runway, let alone take off and get into the air, right? So you want to find those tasks, those priorities, that unfinished business, that marketing, that customer acquisition, that book that you need to finish, whatever that big domino is in your business and in your life, those would be your number one blocks, and they need to be done every single day. Now, I'm not going to take you through the woods of how to get that done, because I'm going to attach a PDF that you can access where you can kind of start putting together your own time design, because there is no one way or no wrong way to do it, but there are key points. And that is to assess your situation, tell the truth about where you are, tell the truth of your heart about where you want to go, and start reverse engineering that as to what it is that you need to do to get from point A to point B, and schedule that every single day. So you'll have different schedules, you'll have different blocks, and your time frame is up to you. You'll have different blocks. You'll have blocks that you do on a daily basis without fail, and it's the first thing you do in the morning. So the day doesn't get away from you. That's what I discovered for myself. I had to put the most important things that I wanted to do in the front of my day. Because if I say, oh, I'm going to do it in the afternoon or I'll do it later, a lot of times it would never get done, ever, right? So you want to do your priorities, whether it be client work, money moves, your administration, your bookkeeping. You can catch up on those things, say weekly. You could do those things on a weekly basis. Or if you put together a really good system, you can do it on a daily basis. But all of these things and all these suggestions that I'm making are completely up to you. They're completely up to you. I don't know your situation. I don't know what you're working with. I don't know if you're behind. I don't know if you're just getting started. I have no idea. So that's why it's important that you go through this assessment so that you can identify it for yourself. So you have your block ones, which is the one thing. Then you have your block twos. Those are things that you do on a weekly basis or maybe twice a week. And then you have your block threes. That's something that you do once a week. And then your block fours, those are your monthly tasks. It's like at the end of the month, I want all of these things done. And see, you wear way too many hats. And that's the reason why I broke them down in priority level 1, 2, 3, and 4. Because you wear all these hats and you feel like everything needs to be done now, right now. And although that could possibly be true, it's not possible to do, right? So you have to prioritize and separate things, right? So, and then you work on like overflow and learning and mastering your skills and mastering your industry, all of that. Focus is a real game changer. Time management without focus it just equals you spinning your wheels. Every focus block should be distraction-free, intentional, and goal-tied. Deep focus multiplies productivity. This is how you do more in less time. And then business priorities must be scheduled, not hoped for. If you're setting a time aside for business operation, accounting structure, customer acquisition, marketing, visibility, lead generation, customer servicing, whatever it is, then you're running a hobby. If you don't make the time for it, you're running a hobby and not a business. So let's talk about some tools that you could use to get this done. We always say ChatGPT, but until the MYB Solopreneur Time Design course and training is complete, you can learn it through some of the trainings and recordings that are inside of the community, right? And it's going to base on your goals, your priorities, your lifestyle. Now we're going to use ChatGPT or any AI of your choice to brain dump and get all of these things that are twisted up in your mind like a big ball of rubber bands or a big ball of yarn. It's just a mess, or a big pile of cords that are all stuck together, and it's like, I'm never going to get this stuff to work again. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. We're going to get it all out of our heads and into the AI so we can start sorting things out and making sense of them and taking them one step at a time. We're going to take baby steps. We're going to take baby steps. Baby steps are what is necessary to get from point A to point B. Baby steps is what gets you where you want to go without the overwhelm and the stress and the fear of the unknown, right? The next tool would be your Google Calendar. Google Calendar is good. There's also Time Tree, Notion. They are focus block digital programs, right? And then there's the Pomodoro method. The Pomodoro method are shorter time blocks because I actually work on a 2-hour time frame because I do that during my work day. It's like, this is my work day. You remember when you used to work for other people? You remember that? Yes. And how you had to sit at your desk for like 8 hours straight. You know, you had your lunch and your 15-minute break, but you felt like you was there all day. You know, it's like, if you can do it for somebody else, you can definitely do it for yourself. But if you are truly overwhelmed and you're stressed out, you might want to shorten the time to a 25-minute block with a 5-minute break, or a 45-minute block with a 15-minute break. It's up to you. And those 15-minute breaks, and I do 2-hour blocks with a 1-hour break, because my breaks are designed for me to time focus or do a focus block on that break of my personal life, whether that be prepping dinner, whether it be going to the store for dinner, whether it be starting a load of clothes and vacuuming the living room, you know, whatever it is, it's scheduled. One's personal, one's business, but there's the so-called balance that we are so hungry for, but it's not really balance. It's just alignment, you know, because those break things that you're doing are also goals. I want to eat better, so I'm going to meal prep. You know, I want to feel better, so I'm going to exercise. You know, if the exercise is not if your exercise is not part of your morning routine, then you can squeeze it in later, right? Everything's on purpose. Everything is intentional. And if you're old school, you can do this all on paper with a book planner, a paper planner, and write it all out. But do something. Move towards something. This is going to help you get control over the time that you have available to you, because you can still be working a 9-to-5 job or just a job, because the 9-to-5 schedule is like, that is not the norm anymore, right? But you could be working your own job, another job, and pursuing this business on the side. The focus blocks are even more important for you, because I take that back. It's important for those who are doing it full time, and it's important for those that are doing it part time, because when you're doing it full time, believe it or not, you waste a lot of time. You're like, oh, I can't wait to get out of this job so I can go back and I can go home and work on my own stuff and build my business and quit giving my time, this, that, and the other to these people who do it. And then you get that time and you start messing it off. You might start messing it off by accidentally, well, I don't know if it's an accident, by turning on your TV in the middle of the day, right? Or getting on the phone and talking to your girlfriend who has nothing to do with your business, who really can't help you with your business. Or, you know what I'm saying, talk to an old friend or a family member you haven't talked to in a long time. Hey, let me call you when I get off. Because if you were at a job, that's what you would have to do. You would have to call them when you got off work, right? How you run your deal, it's all up to you, right? Because you're the boss. And you're also the employee. Stay tuned, because that is the next episode. It's about you being the boss. It's about you being the boss. But, you know, you can run it any way that you want to run it. That's the whole beauty in you starting your own business. That was the reason why you did all of this, was to not have to ask for permission to be the best version of yourself in every area, including your income. Making the amount of money that you knew that you were capable of making, that you deserved to make, and that you needed to make, because you got dreams. You got big dreams, and that stuff costs money, right? You made a powerful decision by pressing play today. I kind of forced you to do that, but I really thank you for allowing me to walk with you alongside you on this journey. And your presence and your feedback, they fuel my journey. And together we can build a lifestyle of freedom and alignment. If you're someone who likes to take notes, don't worry. You can visit the Mind Your Business Mentor, where there will be a full blog that will have the notes from this episode and all the tools and things that I mentioned and links on how to get started. Thank you again for being here. And until next time, stay focused, stay aligned, and most importantly, mind your business. You can mind your business by sharing this and sending it to a friend who is out there running around like a chicken with their head cut off and not getting nothing done. Later.